All right, guys, Dana White just dropped the big announcement. The fight we were all waiting for to be made official is now official. JDM is defending his title against Islam Makhachev at one of the most famous arenas in the whole world, Madison Square Garden. It's all happening. And of course, I've got Coach Ben Vickers here to react to this thing being official. Ben, I know you've been working on this one for a while. It's announced. How's it feel now that it's out there in the universe?
Yeah, it's like I think it's been the worst kept secret in MMA. You know, Khabib came out a while back and basically announced the fight for the UFC. It's nice that it's finally officially announced, so we can start making official plans. We can talk to people about it. You know, we never want to leak these things, and we want to use the official channels to make sure everything goes through properly, like we are company men. So it's nice that it's out there. Obviously, we've been training since the Belal fight for Islam. But now we can really like pick up some steam and start making plans to get to New York. And yeah, I'm really excited.
I know you wanted it in Perth, but Madison Square Garden, New York, big arena. How's it feel, fighting there versus the Perth card that you hoped to be on?
Obviously, like Perth is where we're from, and Perth is like where we'd love to fight, and Jack would love to main event a card in his hometown. I think it's everyone's dream to do such a thing, but the next best thing's got to be MSG. You know, the mecca of fight sports, the mecca of venues. It's a bucket list. It's awesome to be headlining an event at MSG. It's going to be awesome for Jack to become pound for pound #1 in the world at MSG. Everything's coming together nicely. You know, this whole journey has been, although not smooth, everything seems to be working the way it's meant to be, and we firmly believe that Jack's ready to shock the world again on November the 15th.
I'll tell you what, though, Khabib, Ali Abdelaziz, all of these guys are really talking about how tough of a fight Jack is going to be for Islam. I don't know, because you don't really have social media. You probably missed a lot of this stuff, but a big respect coming from Islam's team going into this one. And they're acknowledging JDM is a hard fight. JDM is tougher than what some people may realize. And Khabib even acknowledged that he started following JDM a while back, knowing that potentially he'd be fighting Islam.
Yeah, look, I think they obviously know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about, and they're excellent and analysts of the game. You know, they've got to this level because they know the sport and they know the game. And I find it really weird. And one of the weirdest things in Montreal was I felt like we were walking around with a little secret because no one gave Jack a chance. I feel like most of the public are doing that, but we understand that Islam and his team have the utmost respect for Jack, as we do for them. You know, Islam is a phenomenal fighter. He's pound for pound #1 in the world. He's made light work of just about everybody that's ever gone before him. So the respect is mutual. And Jack's always asked me for the toughest fights he can possibly have. Jack fights better in harder fights, as you saw with the Basil Hafez fight, probably the easiest fight he could have had in the UFC. And you know, and a lot of stuff in the circumstance of that fight as well. You know, people talk about how close that fight was. I don't even think it was that close. It wasn't the dominant performance that people would have expected of Jack against someone like Basil Hafez. But, you know, Jack does better the higher up of the standard is. You know, he raises his game to the level that he's fighting against. And I really believe that everyone's going to see the best version of Jack come November.
I know, obviously, Islam, we've all watched him, but you mentioned you guys have been training for him now after this Belal win. What are a couple of things about Islam that you think a lot of people sort of miss when they fight him? Like a couple of X factors that have made him so successful that people maybe haven't really picked up in the past?
I kind of veer the other way. And I feel like people put Islam on a pedestal. And don't get me wrong, I am not doubting Islam's credentials in the slightest. He is pound for pound #1. He's the GOAT. He's the best guy to have ever done it for me. But for me now, it's the first time watching footage of Islam and not just enjoying watching him fight and actually looking at where can we take advantage of some of the weaknesses that we perceive, some of the best spots where the opportunities arise. And I've seen a lot that I like. that I can work with, having now actually taken an analytical approach to watching Islam rather than just enjoying him, watching him waste people, you know? So I think it's more the other way around. I think you could rephrase the question on what are Islam's weaknesses, as opposed to what everyone thinks, you know? That's the way I look at it. I'm not going to go into that, but I do see things there that we're working on, that we're trying to capitalize upon. And although he's an amazing fighter, I think Jack's better.
It's going to be interesting to see when it's fight night what Islam's game plan is with Khabib and the team. Do you imagine it's going to be a situation? Do you imagine it's going to be a situation?
I don't think it's that hard to work out.
Well, I was going to ask you, do you think it's straight away shooting in, establishing his wrestling, getting JDM up against the fence? Or do you think he goes out there and actually tries to test his striking against you guys?
No, I don't think he's going to go out and try and test his striking, but I also don't think he's going to rush. You know, I mean, he's a very composed guy. He's a very high level, skillful person. You know, he's not going to rush and be running at Jack's hips. You know, but he is going to try and get hold of Jack as quickly as possible, even if it's just to try and tire him out in the early parts of the fight and get him into his world quickly. He will take damage from Jack as Belal did if he's on the feet. So I'm sure he's going to not want to be there for as long as possible. And we've all heard Khabib in the corner really like chastising Islam when he doesn't go for the takedown. So I definitely think that there's going to be a lot of input from Khabib in trying to get Islam to shoot the takedown often and early, but there's going to be no rush and no panic. I mean, this guy is cool, calm, collected, and composed, and he's a phenomenal fighter. So I think he's definitely going to go for takedowns early, but I don't think he's going to like charge in and try and get the hips at all costs. He backs himself on the feet. He's a decent striker, you know. So, but I do think his game plan is to put Jack on the ground.
I get a feeling just from watching some of his interviews when he talks about the Belal fight, he felt like Belal took too long to implement his wrestling or something. And I have a feeling a part of their game plan may be to try and build some momentum in the grappling early because they're afraid of the same thing happening. But I also wonder as well, do you think that Islam is prepared for the shots that he's going to have to take every time he tries to enter and grapple with JDM? Because I think that's a little bit underrated.
I don't know. I don't know until you've been hit by Jack. I don't know that you really understand what's going to happen. And Jack's not going to put himself out of position trying to land massive shots. You know, he's an accumulative fighter. He's going to do damage as safely as possible and try and just build accumulative damage and look for the shot. Going back to what you said about Belal not shooting takedowns, I mean, it's hard to shoot takedowns on someone that's moving and damaging you all the time, every time you close the distance. And Belal shot a decent amount of takedowns. We had this conversation before after the fight. I don't buy the narrative that Belal didn't try and shoot takedowns. It's very convenient for him to use that narrative when he lost. Oh, yeah, look, I did so good with Jack in the stand-up. But I don't think that's what he wanted to do.
It's going to be fascinating to see what Islam looks like at this weight class. What do you think? Do you think a lot of his power, a lot of his strength translates to the division with Jack?
It's so hard to tell, to be honest. He's a big dude. He's a good fighter, you know. Jack's bigger. Jack's probably stronger. He's got more power on the feet. But I don't know what kind of fighter he's going to be. What I do know is that it's, as a fighter who's fought at 70 his whole career, this is going to be his first time in a very competitive matchup at welterweight, and it's different. It's a different, you know, it's going to be different for him. He's carrying more weight, and obviously he's had months now to prepare for this and get used to carrying the weight, but he's been fighting at lightweight for a decade, you know, so to then move up a weight class, it is different, and I don't know how that's going to affect his gas tank, his ability to move as well. You know, people say that he's not going to have to cut as much weight, so he'll be better. But then sometimes carrying extra weight can be hard. You know, you always want to try and have the fight, or we always try and have the fight at the weight we train at. So Jack will rehydrate to the weight he's been in the room training at most of the time. So he's very familiar with that weight and managing the energy systems at that weight. So that's what Islam's got to work out at the weight class. But, you know, I expect an extremely good version of Islam. And yeah, I'm not sort of concerned about the weight. I don't think it's going to be a problem for Islam, but I don't think it's going to be a problem for Jack.
Hmm. I know when we first kind of spoke about this fight when we spoke last time, I think you mentioned like you kind of see Jack taking Islam out in this one because, you know, Jack's striking is so good. Do you still feel that's how it's going to play out come New York time?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I just don't think Islam has the chin that Belal has.
You feel like it's a situation where this is going to be an eventual down the line, like third, fourth round? Or do you think people might even be shocked to see it happen earlier on?
We know for a fact if Jack clips someone clean on the chin, they can go over. So it could happen in the first minute. It could happen in the 24th minute. It could happen in the 24-minute, 59 seconds. It could happen 3 rounds in. Jack likes long fights. You know, he likes to be in there. But obviously we're not getting paid for overtime. So if the opportunity arises, we're happy to take it. But Jack's cardio, as we saw, Bilal's reputedly the best like cardio in the UFC, and Jack out cardioed him. Belal was more tired than Jack towards the end of the fight. So you know, Jack's cardio is exceptional, his power is exceptional. And yeah, I like the fight. I really do.
Dude, I'll tell you, it's exciting times as well because obviously you guys are focused on Islam, but just the other weekend, Khamzat Chimaev, he went out there, won the middleweight title, and before he did, he was already sort of mentioning you guys, saying, "Hey, I'd love to move back down to potentially welterweight, fight that Australian guy." Of course, like you're not looking past Islam or anything, but like, what do you think, man? A potential Khamzat Chimaev fight down the line against Jack? That's a pretty.
I think he needs to do his work in the middleweight division as Jack needs to do in the welterweight division. You know, the welterweight division, there's so many good contenders in there who deserve a shot. Like Islam, no one can fault Islam and no one can take anything away from Islam because he's done everything that's been asked of him at every level, you know, short notice fights, change of opponents. He deserves the shot. He's a legend. He deserves the shot. He deserves to come up a weight class, jump straight into the title fight. But that leaves Shavkat Rakhmonov, you know, in a very sad situation. He's the one that deserved the shot against Belal first, and he hasn't got that shot yet. Jack's wanted to fight Shavkat since before the UFC. So I would like that fight. And then, you know, we've got Sean Brady, Ian Gary, like all these people, they're good fighters in Jack's division that have earned their way to the top of that division. So those fights interest me because we want to clear out the welterweight division. Khamzat's proved that I don't believe Khamzat can make welterweight. You know, he's proved that with the last time he tried to fight welterweight, he missed by 8 kilos. So taking a fight with Khamzat has a lot of inherent risk just because he might not make the weight, and then it's not fair. So yeah, Jack would love to fight Khamzat as well, but I think there's more prominent people who are in line who fight more regularly and deserve the shot more than Khamzat does.
We saw that domination of Dricus du Plessis, absolutely shocking. What would a fight even look like between Jack and Khamzat, in your opinion?
Well, Dricus must feel a bit silly saying, who needs footwork? I'm just going to walk straight forward. I mean, that's a stupid comment, right? And he did that, and look what happened to him. He got taken down at will whenever Khamzat wanted to. So I don't think you can read too much into the fight. Like I think Dricus unfortunately played into the hands of Khamzat's game plan. I think he was relying on Khamzat getting tired, but you've got to do something to someone to make him tired. Like Khamzat could do that for 4 days, I reckon. Like that's his game, that's his bread and butter. So how do I see Jack and Khamzat going? Did you see Jack and Khamzat and Gilbert?
Yeah,
you know, that's the sort of the thing I take is if you can stuff the takedowns, hit him on the chin, and get him tired, then he could be put away. You know, so I believe Jack can put anyone away. Khamzat, DDP, all of those guys. But at the moment, we are concentrating on the welterweight division. We are concentrating on Islam Makhachev, and he's the only name that matters to us right now.
Do you think that down the track one day, if you go through all the contenders at welterweight, you know, things go to plan, you get all these title defenses under your belt, would you guys ever move up, or you just see welterweight as primarily the spot, like bit of a GSP type run where you just become the most dominant champion?
Well, GSP moved up, right, and got the middleweight title off of Bisping.
He did too, yeah. Towards the end, he came back and did it, yeah.
But yeah, like we're focused on Islam. Like I don't really want to go too much. Everything else sounds nice, you know. I'd love to beat up Jake Paul for $100 million, you know. But at the moment, it's about Islam. It's about Islam Makhachev and defending his belt for the first time. You know, what a tough title defense, like to be chucked on your first one. But that's what Jack's always wanted. He's not in this game to fight scrubs and get wins. He's in this game to fight the best and beat the best, and be the best. So, we're firmly focused on Islam.
You know what else is crazy as well? You got all the great contenders, and then obviously you got Ilia Topuria, the lightweight champ. He's been trying to get up to he wants to go up to welterweight, fight for that belt as well. What's your reaction? Like, he wants one more title defense, that he wants to basically move up and fight at welterweight. What would your reaction be if he was one of the next guys for you?
He's my height, and I'm a midget. He needs to stay where he is. It would be a very bad decision for him to come up and fight Jack. They're the same fighter, essentially. He's just a midget and Jack's a bit bigger. They do a lot of the same things very well. And I love Ilia. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch because I think he fights like Jack. They're very similar. So, but I don't think he has any business jumping up 2 weight classes and fighting Jack. But that's up to him. If he wants to do that, fair play to him. I respect it. And I think Ilia is going to be at a point like Islam soon where he can do whatever he wants because he's unstoppable,
Guys, if you're looking for the best VPN in the game, hit the link in the description below and try out Vanish VPN. They are giving you guys a crazy 83% off. That's right, 83% off. Have a look over here. That's only $2.19 a month that starts at. Check that out. These are the options that you have, and you guys get that 3 GB eSIM data gift and a 30-day money-back guarantee if you try it today. It is, of course, blazing fast. There is no logs, advanced encryption. It's truly unlimited. There are so many benefits to having a VPN. If you guys want to watch all of your favorite shows, if you guys want to check out all of the different events from around the world that might not be featured in your country, if you guys want deals on flights and products and all sorts of other things, Vanish VPN really has you sorted. So do me a favor, click below right now. You support the program when you do. Give this thing a try. 83% off, one of the best VPNs in the game right now. So affordable. Don't worry about having to pay $30, $40 for a VPN. Have one today for as cheap as that. 83% off. My gosh, Vanish has you sorted. If you're a submission radio watcher, fan, listener, click on the description below and get started on Vanish today. Can you imagine a world like you guys take out Islam, then you guys, fight one of the contenders, then you guys take out Ilia, then, there's a lot of great big fights for you guys. This is a good problem to have, at least.
Yeah, I imagine it all, and I think Jack's better than them all. So I want all of those fights, but like I said, we're firmly focused on Islam, and we're firmly focused on the welterweight division. And the worthy contenders, these guys, your Sean Brady's, your Shavkat Rakhmanovs, they've been working all their lives and fighting the right people and doing everything that's asked of them. Shavkat's been really unlucky with injuries, but Shavkat's the man who deserves the title shot. He's done everything that's been asked of him to get that, and I believe it's unfair that he wouldn't be in consideration next to fight for the title.
What do you think of Kamaru Usman trying to position himself for the next shot?
Again, he's another guy that's got a legacy and a body of work that that one head kick. How different would the welterweight division be now if Leon doesn't land that head kick in the last dying moments of that fight? So, mate, everyone deserves their opportunity. But Jack, some people say Jack didn't deserve his opportunity against Belal, but it's about being in the right place at the right time and being ready. And if Usman's in the right place at the right time, I think he's going to fight Belal. So if he beats Belal, he definitely deserves a title shot. Belal was just the champ, So he had a really good fight with Khamzat, who's now the middleweight champ on short notice. So yeah, he's got his argument for the title shot, and he's like, how many title defenses does he have in the welterweight division?
Yeah, he's got a bunch.
So they're all worthy in their own right, and they all have their own arguments to make. And it's going to be situational, like Jack. If you're in the right place at the right time and you're ready, you might just get the call up.
Hey, I was going to quickly say, speaking of former champions, because you're not online, so you probably wouldn't have seen this, but Tyron Woodley, man, he had a bit to say about Jack.
I know, I did see it.
Did you see that? He basically didn't said all this stuff, but for those that missed it, that Jack basically wouldn't be the champion if this was his era.
If I would have been on social media, I'd have just posted a video of Jake Paul knocking him out and told him to shut the fuck up. Woodley's an idiot.
All right, mate. Well, as we wrap up, so what's the plan? Obviously, you guys have been training, focusing on Islam for a while. I know last time you did a little collab with Alex Okanovsky down at Freestyle, and Craig helped you guys out as well. What's the camp plan here? What are we looking to do leading into this fight in New York?
Same as always. We've got the team, we've got our people. It's worked for us this far. You know, whether we go to see Volk for a week or Volk comes over here for a week, I don't know. But we believe in our team. We've been together for 13 years, you know, and we've had a lot of success doing what we do in the gym. You know, Ryan Gray's there, Josh Della's there as the coaches. So there's three of us watching Jack all the time. Great collaborative minds thinking together about how to move forward. You know, Josh can obviously spar. Josh is very good at replicating what Jack's going to get from other people. So is Ryan Gray. So they're all still actively sparring with Jack as coaches, which is great because I ain't doing it. But Craig's coming in. He's got CJI. And then after that, he's going to come to Perth for a bit and hang with us for a couple of months. And we're really going to sharpen up the grappling side of things. And, you know, for me, like, Craig's a better grappler than Islam is. So we have the guy there that we need. If Jack can handle Craig, which he can, because I've watched it numerous times, and Craig says himself, you know, he picks things up from Jack all the time. So the confidence Jack gets from having Craig, the second best grappler in the world, self-confessed, in his camp, you know, at all times and helping, and he's worked towards, he helped Volk in that remarkable performance that Volk put in against Islam in the first fight. So we're very confident in our team. Craig will be with us for a couple of months, which is awesome. Last time for Belal, we only had him for a couple of weeks. So I just think you're going to see an evolution in Jack's game, and he's going to look even better. He's still 28, man, and he's learning. You know, he's only had 8 fights in the UFC. He's still pretty green in his career. Like, I think Islam's had that many title defenses, you know. So Jack's still learning the game and still improving at a rapid rate. Whereas, you know yourself, like, skill development becomes harder the better you get. So, you know, those guys, like, Jack's still learning, his fight IQ is still evolving, his comfort in the cage, although it's an exceptional level, it's getting more and more. You know, now some people say you get 30% better just having won a belt for the first time because of the confidence it gives you. So I really believe Jack's got a lot of room for growth. And we pick up on a lot of the... if I watch Jack's fight with Belal, yeah, I love it. And I still think he won it 4-1, 5-0. But I still see a lot of things we could have worked on and done better in that performance, you know. So we're always looking to improve. We don't spend too much time, like, dwelling on the positive. We spend more time, like, trying to pick up what we did wrong and badly and what we can do better. And I think that mindset helps Jack step into the cage and look better every time he does it.
Well, dude, I can't wait. UFC 322, you guys are going to be at Madison Square Garden fighting Islam. It's kind of surreal, man. It's what dreams are made of. I congratulate you guys. It's a big moment for your team. Great to see it being official now. You can go out there, you could talk about it. It's a little bit more real. And yeah, man, I'll be around Perth for the next fight night, so maybe I can pop by, grab a coffee, and we can chat then. But never.
That'd be lovely. Yeah, come and see the scrapyard. I'll give you a tour and come meet the boys, and we'll go for a coffee, and I'll show you a bit of Perth.
I'd love that, man. But there he is, Ben Vickers, man. I appreciate you, man. Best of luck with everything in this camp, and thanks for joining me here on Submission Radio.
Thanks, mate. I'll see you soon.